member of AFCEA for over a decade now and proud to be here at TechNet Cyber Conference. And welcome to the Evolving Infrastructure Theater. I'm here this morning to introduce Carissa Landymore. She is the Program Manager, Cloud Storage Operations Center for Defense Information Systems Agency. Ms. Landymore currently serves as the Cloud Storage Program Manager for DISA Services Directorate. Ms. Landymore is an experienced change agent, project manager, and acquisition professional. She began her career with government service, working as a program analyst supporting the Program Executive Office for Mission Assurance and Network Operations. Ms. Landymore was the 2016 recipient of the Diane McCoy Acquisition of Excellence Award and has been recognized personally for her work from the DISA Vice Director and Executive Deputy Director. Please help me welcome Ms. Landymore to the stage.
Good morning. Can you all hear me okay? Normally that's never a problem. Thank you all so much for being here today. We have a lot of exciting information to share with you about milDrive and storage as a service. Before we get started, just a quick overview of our agenda. We're going to kick things off with an introductory video of milDrive, and then we will jump into an overview of cloud storage, followed by a live demo of our milDrive service offering, and then we'll finish it up with Q&A. So with that, if you could cue the video, please. Well, you can see it, but you can't hear it, but you're getting the point. Thank you, guys. We can come back to it if you want, Wolfgang, and jump into the slides if that's easier. Okay. All right, so we'll go ahead and dive right in. Maybe? Okay. All right, so what is cloud storage? Cloud storage is a portfolio that consists of two programs. First, we have milDrive, and we also have storage as a service. A quick overview of milDrive. It's a cloud storage solution focused on providing a storage capability for our end users. It allows you to synchronize files between your local drive and DISA's private cloud. Storage as a service provides bulk storage for applications, backups, or system images. This is really intended for organizations that have large amounts of data that they would like to store long term. When you're looking at the big difference between the two, just remember that milDrive is focused on supporting our end users, where storage as a service is a machine-to-machine interface. It's for long-term backup. So with that, we'll go ahead and dive into a little bit more information on milDrive. milDrive is a file sync and share solution. This is really focused on supporting our warfighters and our mission partners who are looking to access their data anytime, anywhere. When our seniors got together, we really wanted to focus on having the ability to access, have continuous reliability to access, regardless of device or location. There's a few ways you can access your data. The first is going to be through a desktop app. The second will be through a dashboard. And then finally, you can access it on the web. We also have additional access methods through our mobile devices, our DoD mobile devices. Currently, you can access through the web on your mobile device. Later on in the summer, we'll be rolling out a mobile app as well. There are a couple conditions to consider when deciding if milDrive is right for you. You have to be on the NIPRNet, and you have to have DoD credentials. Additionally, some of the great features are providing the ability to share data. The collaboration feature is one of, I think, its biggest attributes, in that you're able to share data with end users that are not just licensed users. You can also share them with non-licensed users. And we'll talk on that a little bit later in the live demo. But just know that as long as you have DoD credentials and you're on the NIPRNet, you will be able to collaborate with other mission partners. And then finally, we have two storage capacities available. First is the 20 gigabyte license, and the second is the 1 terabyte license. The 20 gigabyte license is really intended for individual users, and the 1 terabyte is for VIPs and team folders, but you can use them however you see fit. The next slide here, we really want to talk about, we talked about a lot of the key features, but some others that I did want to drive home on the right-hand side. Offline access to data. You can work on data while offline. Recently, I traveled and I was working with someone out here on an airplane, and we were working on a document so that as soon as we synced back up with the network, other of our end users could reach out to it and manipulate the data. So everything is constantly syncing. You'll always be able to work offline, and then as soon as you regain access to the NIPRNet, it'll sync and replace the other file for you. Data backup will also show in the live demo as well, so I won't dive too much into this. But one of the things I always like to bring up and give an example of, data backup. A lot of us today always are trying to remember to back up our data. With milDrive, it can be taken care of for you. You can map your folders to back up with milDrive and load into the private cloud, and every time you work on a file on your local drive, it'll replace it and save it for you and back it up every single time. And then self-recovery of files. Through collaboration, you're constantly replacing files, and sometimes you delete something and you need to go back and find it. Through self-recovery, you can now do that up to 15 days. We have it set to go back 15 days, so you can go out and find a previous version if needed. And then there's the reducing the total cost of ownership. You're now able to, with milDrive, eliminate the need for external hard drives, disks, by using milDrive. Currently, we're hosted out in our DISA data centers, Data Center Montgomery and Data Center Oklahoma City. So you're getting a lot of security associated with the service as well. This slide really gives you an overview of our milDrive costs and feature benefits. The security aspect I really want to home on in here. Our data is encrypted at rest and also in transit, and the costs are all inclusive. So you're getting service and support, unlimited transactions, bandwidth usage, and obviously the security is built in as being a part of our DISA data centers. So with that, we'll go ahead and jump into storage as a service. As I stated before, storage as a service is really focused on long-term cloud storage. It's really intended for backing up and archiving securely into our DISA data centers. It stores data as objects and then transfers data using the S3 API protocol. We have 3 use cases here to run through with you. The first one, again, you're able to reduce the storage area, the need for a storage area network, a SAN, the hardware and maintenance costs associated. You can now, using the S3 API, communicate machine to machine and transfer your files into the STaaS server in data center, one of our 3 data centers where it's currently residing. The second one is storing COOP data securely in DISA's cloud. This will really eliminate the need for full site-to-site replication, also reducing IT resource and hardware costs. And then finally, storing large amounts of cloud-native application data. This is really large media data, things that are on your local drive that are taking up a lot of space. you can now eliminate the need, if it's low transaction, pushing it into STaaS, and then pulling it down using S3 API, how often you need to, freeing up space on your local drive. It's scalable to several exabytes of data, and any front end using the S3 API can use STaaS. Some key features here. First, I do want to home in, just like milDrive, we're fragmenting the STaaS data across Data Center Columbus, Data Center Montgomery, and Data Center Oklahoma City. A lot of similar features with STaaS as with milDrive. I do want to home in on no downtime during software upgrades and hardware refreshes at site failures. Because we are fragmenting the data, this is one of the key features that we're able to offer. And obviously reducing the total cost of ownership, like I previously mentioned, eliminating the need for a SAN. And then it has a similar costs and feature benefits as milDrive, all-inclusive costs, service and support, unlimited transactions, bandwidth usage, and security. And these are just different ways you can reach out to us through the Mission Partner Engagement Office, obviously through my group, STaaS, or milDrive. You can find out more information on our service catalog. I'll also be at the DISA booth a little bit later today, around 12:15, if you want to talk a little bit more about this in detail. But with this, we're going to go ahead and jump into a live demonstration of milDrive. I figure we've got the toy. Let's show their new shiny toy here. So I'll ask Marcos to come up. He's one of our engineers. He's going to help me drive this today. Ready? Okay. Once your account is fully provisioned and the program is installed, you'll notice there's a few ways to access milDrive. You can access it through the desktop app, the web portal, and the dashboard, and we're going to go through each of those today. So first, if you could go ahead and click on the desktop app, you'll notice that it integrates with the window file system. So now we're going to drag a file to the milDrive folder and watch it sync to our private cloud. You'll notice that there's a little red icon. It's showing that it's syncing. Once it's completed syncing, you'll get a green check mark. Now we're going to go ahead and open the document and edit the file in our milDrive private cloud. Resave the document and show how it syncs back into the cloud. Now we'll go ahead and right-click on the document. We're going to create a link. Now, as I previously stated, there's two ways you can collaborate with end users. Internally for licensed users, and then you can also share a public link for non-licensed users that are currently on, that have DoD credentials and are on the NIPRNet. So we're going to do that now. So it'll bring up this here. You're going to select whether you want it public or internal. You can even select how long you want the link to be available. Then you're going to create a link, and it'll give you an access ID. Another feature is you can also customize this. If you wanted to create a custom link, you can do that. It'll copy to the clipboard, and then he can open up an email, paste it in, and send the email to share with an end user, allowing them to download the document and reload the document if you wish, especially for our non-licensed users. For licensed users, there's a little bit more available with collaboration, through sharing folders and sharing files, but this is just one of many. Now we're going to go ahead and go into the dashboard. So down on the right-hand side, you'll click on your system tray. You'll open up the dashboard by right-clicking, open up the dashboard there, and this is our menu. A lot of great features here as well. We're going to go ahead and take a look at two. First is going to be the usage. Here you can see your current allocation for storage and your usage. On the left-hand side, you'll notice that the same menu from the first screen is now moved here to the left side Now we're going to go to backup. I cannot tell you, I can't drive this one home enough, because for me, my hard drive recently crashed, and because I had this, because I am the worst at saving and backing up my files, because I had this available and it was copied, I had copied my local C drive here, and everything was syncing. As soon as I got a new computer, everything was right there for me. I never missed a beat, which is huge in our industry. So here we're going to practice moving a folder over. So he's adding one, picking a folder, selecting that folder, and now saving it. And now he'll have that there. So every time he works on his local C drive, anytime he makes any changes, it will sync instantly and back it up here. Now we're going to go ahead and close this out, and we're going to go out to the web portal. So he's going to go back to the dashboard just for ease of time. On the dashboard in the right-hand corner, you can go to the user portal out on the web. Just as a reminder, we use for authentication, PK authentication, we use, most folks use the signature email cert, so that's what he's going through here right now. If you're dual persona, that could be slightly different. Okay, so you remember when we first started the demo, he saved a file. Now if you scroll to the bottom, you can see that that file is now available in the web portal as well. Everything instantly becomes available, whether it's in the web portal or the desktop app, or whether you're on your mobile device and you're out on the web URL as well. So now what we want to do, so now we want to show, you could share the link here as well. So if you want to share with another user, you can right-click similar to the desktop app, and it'll give you the same option if you want to share that real quick. Sure. Same look and feel, traditional look and feel, just like the desktop app. You can pick whether you want it to be internal or public, option for links. You can change that for the expiration. You can make it public. And this is for files or folders. Okay? Now sometimes we talked about saving versions, or recovering versions, excuse me. Up at the top there, you could see where it says Show Deleted Items. He could click there, scroll to the bottom, and you can see if he's looking for that particular folder or file, it's there for him, and he can recover that by restoring the deleted item, restoring it, and now it's back available for him here and also on the desktop app. And just a reminder, the public, Marcos reminded me, the public does not mean public to the commercial internet. That is public to a non-licensed user. That's what we mean when we say public. So a lot of great features here. Let me open it up to you all. If there's anything in particular you want us to show you on here, we're happy to do that. So that's really all we had for the demo right now, but now I'll open it up to you. If there's anything you want to see here, if you have any questions, we'll open it up to you. Really?
Great job.
Did I do that great? No, I'm kidding. You want to share version history? Share version history of file.
A couple different. Is this on? There are a couple different ways to do this. We can. This is a neat feature down here. We can click Recover Files here, and it will bring up a calendar. The default is 15 days back, but we can pick a date, and I can see what my entire folder structure looked like on that day. Oops. There you go. And it was blank. No, I'm just kidding. And there it is. So I could restore it. I could make any changes that I wanted to. But for now, I'm just going to click Return to Present, which will take me to the way it is today. Also here, I can go on the Great Document to Test with here, and I can show the file history. And I can restore any of these previous versions if I would like.
Hi.
Hi. A couple of questions. When you share access to a file or a folder via link to another NIPRNet user, is that enforcing identity management? Is that access only to that one user, or is that to anybody who has the link with a CAC? And then can you speak a little bit to data throughput rates to the bulk storage?
So great question. So when you go through sharing the link, you have to pick an email address that you want to share it to. Yeah, and I'm sorry, could you repeat the second question?
Can you speak a little bit to throughput rates to the bulk storage?
Throughput rates to the bulk storage? Just what were the current rate for that?
Yeah, so if you want to transfer data to that or from that in order for processing, right, what's the latency going to be at? What kind of throughput rate is it going to be able to take doing that?
Okay. So I will have to defer to the engineers on this.
Are you referring to the storage as a service or this milDrive?
Storage as a service.
Okay, yeah, storage as a service really made for low transaction data. If you have a lot of read writes, you're going to notice latency, very much so. But I'm not sure what the exact rate is. I don't know if one of the other guys can answer that question if you want a specific number. But I'll just tell you, it's not made for high transaction data.
Thank you. And if you want, we can talk a little bit after I can get your card and get you an answer. Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
I lead a systems engineering team for an internal DISA customer, so we're real excited about this product here. And personally, I'm a site administrator for a site collection for DEPS. So I'm wondering what the integration is with SharePoint, and also when will this be available to us? Thanks.
What was the integration with SharePoint, and what was the second part?
And when will this be available to us as internal DISAnet users?
Yeah, great point. So the second question, we are currently piloting with the DISAnet team right now so that they can develop the TTPs to roll this out to larger DoDNet. So we are working through that. It is available now, but they want to, as the DISAnet owners, want to make sure they get the TTPs developed. So they're working through that now. And then as far as integration with SharePoint, this is not.
I can take it.
You want to take it?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. The big difference here is that milDrive is for file sync and share. For example, can't do workflows, things like that SharePoint does, obviously. So that's mainly the big difference. It's for file of collaboration, which is similar to DEPS, but the other piece of it is not there. So there's a lot of, I guess, I don't know if that's answering your question, but there's a lot that SharePoint can do.
Yeah, this isn't intended to be a SharePoint type of collaboration environment. This is really just so you can create folders and collaborate with users on there. But in SharePoint, they've got a little bit more features where you can go in, I believe, and work on a document together at the same time and modify different things and then reload it. You can do that here, but you won't be able to create workflows and things of that nature like SharePoint can. Does that answer? Yeah? We can talk more after if you want to. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions? Okay. We're really excited about milDrive and storage as a service. You know, a lot in milDrive. We're using similar features in our home environment, and it's groundbreaking to be able to bring this now to the DoD. We've got high demand. We get calls all the time for the service, so there's clearly a need out there, and we're very excited to be able to share that with the Department of Defense. So thank you all so much for your time and for coming out, and enjoy the rest of your day.